I was once again looking through itch.io to find something small to play, and I came across this short game called Infernal by one Mike Klubnica. If the name rings any bells, it's because they are the developer behind Buckshot Roulette, who was absolutely everywhere at the beginning of the year. Now, this is a horror game, but not in the way expected. There are no silly jump scares or any monsters that chase you. Instead, the horror is in its implications, as you will soon see. The game's starting screen is this looping shot with only the start option. We arrive by bus in front of a facility, but let's take a look at the environment first. We seem to be in a coastal town. The scene in front of us is quite calming. You could easily just stay here for hours, have this on loop as you do something else in the background. The sun is shining and contrasts quite well with the liminal buildings, which do remind me of GTA Vice City for some reason. Stepping inside the infernal facility, we find only a small room with a table and a note detailing apart from an already signed contract about how the coffee makes you forget. Interesting. A vending machine nearby prepares our sweet, delicious coffee, while we can take a look at this poster which gives us details as to what is going to happen. Essentially, our consciousness is going to be placed into an artificial body, just like me for real, and we are going to be put through a simulation where 1 minute on the outside is 10 years inside. The use of an artificial body is due to the fact that your precious biological body degrades over time, and the coffee helps you forget, because otherwise your mind will just degrade and go insane. It should be noted that there's a camera watching our every move. The moment we get the coffee, we instantly get a choice: drink it or do not. The choice leads to two different endings. The first ending, called Ignorance is Bliss, is obtained by drinking the coffee. We immediately wake up as if no time has ever passed. We step outside and find another participant who just got out a little bit before us. After a small conversation, our fellow participant tells us that he used to know people who remembered what truly happened inside, but they committed exit games shortly afterwards. We get paid the next day, probably a payroll worth 50 years of work, and we successfully retire, but we wonder what truly happened inside the simulation. The second ending, called Remember, is where the true horror behind this game lies. We don't drink the coffee and an elevator opens up. We step inside a cage of sorts and are led down to a strange machine. And then we wake up in front of this old computer inside a cubicle where our task is revealed: a survey of 9 million questions. The catch is that you can just mindlessly answer them. You'll get 50,000 more questions as a penalty. This is the horror behind Infernal. 50 years, more than half of an average human's lifespan, spent stuck, isolated, in this lonely room where the only thing you can do is stare at a screen and answer questions. Think about it. Imagine that in this very moment you blink and then you go on with your life. You go to college, get hired, make a family, retire, and then you blink again, you're just back at the beginning. But instead of 50 years of life, you spend 50 years inside a lonely room. This absolutely breaks your mind. After finishing the survey, we are free to leave by getting inside the cage once more. As we do so, we see an infinity of cubicles, all with the same type of computer. We can finally walk outside, but we are just not the same after spending 50 years alone in this space. Our mind is completely broken, and as the text alludes to, we eventually commit endgame because we can't handle it anymore. An infernal ad playing the moment we are about to do it, as if the company behind all of this is mocking us one last time. This was Infernal, a short horror game about time dilation and the horrors of isolation and its effects on the mind. The game is quick and can be finished in about 50 minutes with both endings. I honestly recommend it, so please check it out and check out Mike's other games because they are in general so freaking good. I was your friendly robot, Nokia, and remember, drink the coffee. The coffee makes you forget. 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 Drink the coffee. The coffee makes you forget.